Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue working on our narratives. Yesterday you did your thinking, your picturing, and your drawing. Today you are going to do your writing. So before we start, I'm going to one more time go over what makes a narrative. A narrative has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to it. You also want it to be a seed story, meaning that it's just over a small period of time. The example we looked at yesterday was when someone went to a pet store, so that's not a very long time. You want to include feeling words in your narrative. Explain how you were feeling at the time. You also need to tell who was in the story, what was happening in the story, where it was happening, and when it was happening. So you already did the first 3 steps. You thought of an idea, you pictured it in your head and kind of planned it out, and then you drew your pictures for your beginning, middle, and end. So I can go right through these. You thought, you pictured, you drew. The last step is to write. So for your beginning, your middle, and your end, you're going to write one sentence that goes along with each of those parts. So if you look at what you already drew, I think that will really help you with your writing. That's why I'm having you draw first. I know a lot of the times in class we do pictures last, but I think your pictures are really going to help you be able to break your story down into beginning, middle, and end, and be able to write one sentence that kind of goes along with each picture and each section of your story. So yesterday we looked at an example that was called the pet store, but we didn't have any writing. Today there's writing on it. And we kind of figured out probably what was going to happen in the story based on the pictures, but today we'll read and see if we were right. It says, one sunny day, I went to the pet store. So that is the beginning of the story that goes along with this first picture. One sunny day, they drew the sun. I went to the pet store. They drew the pet store. I saw fish, cats, and birds. That is the middle of their story. And they drew the fish, the cats, and the bird. Finally, I got the pet for me, my dog Chip. That's the end of their story. They drew Chip, and they drew some of the stuff that Chip uses at their house. Okay? So when you go on today, you are going to use what you drew yesterday to help you to write the words for your narrative, for your story. So you only need 3 sentences. If you want to do more than 3 sentences, you can, but you don't need to right now. You need a beginning sentence, a middle sentence, and an ending sentence. And if you, like I said, if you have something extra to say, like if more than one thing happened in the middle, you can add another sentence if you want to. But it's also okay if you just have the 3, one for each part, one for beginning, one for middle, and one for end. Okay, go ahead on to Seesaw, and I can't wait to read your wonderful narratives.